Now I have determined to teach about the history of Christian or Bible songs and about from the beginning of course of time, since the beginning of Exodus 15 chapter, the first song, the first ever recorded song in the entire world, especially in Christian field. That was the first song, how it grew, the song's history, what is going on present days, how the people are using modern trend in Christian field, and how they are disturbing the Christian spiritual atmosphere. Let us see briefly about as 12 points since the beginning of Moses and Miriam's song, and the next about the book of Judges say about the song of Deborah and Barak, and also about King David, the psalmist in the Bible, who wrote in around 75 songs himself, and also about the beginning church songs and the beginning time songs in the church, how they were encouraged, how they were mentioned in history and also in the Bible. At the same time, Bonaventure in the 13th, Saint Bonaventure in 13th century, who wrote a famous song, O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem. A famous Christmas song which is lively till now. Wherever we sing, whenever we sing that, we feel a Christmas atmosphere and also a spiritual atmosphere with that song. And also Isaac Watts, who wrote in around 750 psalms or hymns. One of the famous hymns of him is Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. And also, O God, our help in ages past. A famous song, 19th Psalm of Moses. It is tuned by Isaac Watts. And finally, When I survey the wondrous cross also. William Cowper, once before his conversion, he was a romantic poet. After that, he became very religious writer, songwriter. One of the famous songs he wrote is There is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's veins. And then Charles Wesley, very peak point, Charles Wesley and Franny Crosby. The final and peak point in Christian songs era, 6,500 songs. Not a joke. That to spiritual songs, no casual or callous songs. Some famous songs in his life is Oh, for 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise. My great Redeemer's praise. Not only that, some other songs also there. Jesus, lover of my soul. I like that song very much. Jesus, lover of my soul, let me to thy bosom fly. Martin Luther, 41 songs. His songs were translated into many other languages, but his Bible was confined only in German or German language, but his songs were translated to many other languages. You know that one of the famous songs from his writings are, yes, A Mighty Fortress is Our God. It is one of the famous songs. Some other songs are there. You can note it down and you can search afterwards and learn them. A mighty fortress, O Lord, look down from heaven, behold. Lord, keep us steadfast in thy word. But a mighty fortress is our God is it has been translated into many other languages. Who wrote in around how many? 8,000 hymns, and they were printed as more than 100 million copies. See these things once. And also a famous song, Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father, written by Thomas Chisholm. Yes, humble beginning. Thomas Obadiah Chisholm is very humble beginning and came from bottom level in society, and also he reached a peak point by the mercy of his Lord, a transformative encounter and a new path. Let us see all these things. And finally, a famous Indian Christian song writer. We can say the first native Christian song writer, Chaudhary Purushottama Kavi. You can listen about him either. Okay, see all these things. Let us come to the first point. If you see, it has 12 points as very important bullet points. I have prepared these things. Moses wrote the first ever documented or printed song is Exodus 15. In the book of Exodus, chapter 15 was there. His sister Miriam played music that song. And then Deborah, you know that. Moses lived BC 1400 around the time of song. Written by Moses around 1400 BC. Deborah around 1100 BC. In 5th chapter there was a big song. We are going to see about that. There is important point also. Those who wait for Lord is like a mighty sun. They are like a mighty sun. We are going to see that. And Davidic poems or Davidic psalms. In the book of Psalms, in around more than 73 written by David, and some other are there. Let us see. in coming lesson. Songs of the early church, 16th AD to 1600 AD. Saint Bonaventure in 30th century wrote a very important song, and also Isaac Watts, who created the first new era in Christian songs. Isaac Watts. Even John Wesley's mother used to sing those songs. John and Charles Wesley mother, that means wife of Samuel, is not this local person, local peoples. I'm saying about England, and also about the time of 18th century beginning family. Okay, Samuel and Susanna Wesley. They have 19 children, but so many dead from that 19 members. Only 9 were left by God's grace. Two important figures were there, personalities. Those were Charles Wesley, a famous songwriter, John Wesley, a famous speaker, and one of the revival symbols in the world history, world Christian history especially. Martin Luther, you know that. This man also wrote some songs, and his songs were translated into many. Franny Crosby, the highest number of songs were written by her. He was born blind, almost. I'll say clearly. And also Thomas Chisholm, he also wrote a famous song. I will say about that within few minutes. And also Chaudhary Purushottama Kavi, a native speaker. Yes, let us come. The Song of Moses. The first song in the Bible. When they crossed Red Sea, when they were delivered completely from the clutches of devil, Israelites started a song. They raised their voice, praised their God with full of their hearts. But immediately they took a U-turn. That is different thing. But sometime they filled with glory of God, and they praised God. And after they teased Moses in several ways, they gave a lot of frustration to Moses and even to God either. That is the first song. Miriam, supported with music, tambourine. Okay, see here, when the song was sung here, then Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, but also Moses. But Moses didn't write about him because he was the writer of the book. Aaron took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women went out after her with tambourines and dancing. Even women danced, and women played music to the song of Moses. Second thing, it happened in the time of BC 1400, Judges, the song of Deborah and Barak. When they won their enemy Sisera, they started singing a song. Deborah led the army in the supervision of Barak. God inspired her in that way. If she goes alone, his entire Israelis country would be blamed, because is there no man in that country? Why do the women do like that? They may blame God's army, God's country. That is why she kept Barak in front of her, and she led the fight, and she won ultimately. Then she sang the song. What is the song she sang? Let us see here. One of the important point here. Yes, this is the thing we have to observe. All your enemies perish, O Lord, but your friends, that means those who love you, be like a sun as he rises in his might. Very good and impressive verse in the entire song. See, in NKJV, O Lord, those who love him, that means those who love God, be like the sun when it comes out in full strength. He wrote around 73 psalms because he is called a psalmist. No other person in the Bible wrote those many songs or psalms. And others, Asaph wrote 12 psalms, and Korah, sons of Korah, wrote 11. Moses, one song, that 90th psalm was written by Moses, the prophet. Solomon wrote one song. And Ethan, the Israelite one, and Heman one. And finally, 119th Psalm might be written by a good Levite, a fearful Levite, a devotee. A devout Levite might have written this one. And 50 other Psalms are anonymous, because we don't know who the author is. Totally, we can count here 73, 12, 11, 1, 1, 1. And 119 plus 50, altogether 150 Psalms. You can take a snapshot and you can count afterwards easily. This is the book of Psalms history. David was at the time of BC 1000, around BC 1000 years. That should be observed. Songs of early church. What happened to the songs of early church actually? Let us see once. Here, in the early days of Christianity, it was common practice within gatherings to sing songs of worship and praise to the Lord. Yes, it was a practice since the beginning of church history. Singing some praise songs and some prayer songs and some petition songs usually. Now we are learning about 61 AD to 113 AD in around. And Magistrate, a secular historian, wrote about Christian songs history in the beginning or early church. What he wrote, let us see once. Even non-believers recorded the practice of early Christian singing. Not only Christians or Jewish people wrote it. Even non-believers recorded. What they recorded? For example, Pliny the Younger, he lived in between 61 to 113 AD, a lawyer, author and magistrate, like a judge of ancient Rome, a Roman historian, wrote in one of his letters to Emperor Trajan, Roman Emperor Trajan, addressed by this Pliny Younger in his letter. What he wrote? They, that means Christians, were in the habit of meeting on a certain fixed day before it was light, when they sang in alternative verses a hymn to Christ as to a God, as if he were a God, as if he was, both are correct. If were only, but as if is there, as if he were, as if he was, both are right. Okay, let us come. Christians used to sing praise songs to Jesus Christ like a God. That is why he wrote, because he is a secular person. He didn't believe Christ as God, but it is true. Christians used to sing in their worship times. And also, Ephesians 5:19, we are all aware of that. With psalms and with hymns, we have to encourage one another. And in Hebrews 1:12 also, they sang in olden days. And all references usually say, 1 Corinthians 4:26, how it is, then brethren, come together, everyone you hath a psalm. When they gathered in beginning church, 1 Corinthians 14:26, some believers wants to sing and other believers wants to preach. Okay, see in Acts 16:25 also, Paul and Silas, you know very well about this. Paul and Silas sang praise songs, and then in front of their co-prisoners, for their songs, for their praise, even foundations of that jail got broken. In 300 AD, there was a song, let it be silent, let the luminous stars not shine. There was a song. In AD 600 also, be thou my vision, O Lord my heart. Still this song is being sung many places. Yes, Bonaventure in the 13th century. O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem. Very famous song. Even till now, it is being sung in all occasions, in every Christmas season. We feel Christmas atmosphere whenever the song is sung. He wrote many other songs also. It is assumed that it has been written in the 13th century by the person, but some other argue that it is written afterwards, after some years, and even in the time of King John IV also. But we don't believe it. Isaac Watts, he wrote 750 hymns. He is the person who moved congregational singing into a new era. He created new trend and era, new style in completely spiritual manner, not like a disco or modern methods. It didn't follow rock or rock method or rock dance or pop dance or something is there. What is the famous songs written by him? He is at the time of 1674. He was born. In the beginning of 18th century, he wrote many important songs in Christian field. They are very much important and they encouraged Christianity spiritually and they revived the churches in meaningful way. So let us see the famous songs. You know that Joy to the World. Everybody knows the songs. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let her receive her King. And also there is another song. O God, our help in ages past. The psalm by Moses. O God, our help in ages past. Our hope for years to come. Our shelter from the stormy blast. And our eternal home. These are the things. and When I Serve the Wondrous Cross. So many people know. These are the songs. And William Cowper, once he was a romantic poet before his conversion. After that, he became very good spiritual songs writer. See here, even William Wordsworth particularly admired his poem. William Wordsworth is one of the famous writers in the world. But he admired his poetry and songs. But what happened in his life actually? After being institutionalized for insanity, he fell insane in certain situation of his life. That asylum doctor, that means a mental hospital simply. Asylum doctor, a very good Christian evangelist, led him into the Lord, led him into the salvation. And when he was saved, he wrote very good song. So many songs he wrote, but one of the impressive song he wrote is There is a fountain filled with blood. There is a fountain filled with blood drawn from Emmanuel's vein. O sinner plunged beneath the flood, lose all their guilty stains. So many songs, important songs written by him. Charles Wesley, 6,500 songs he wrote. His brother of John Wesley belongs to 18th century beginning of England. Their parents were Susanna Wesley and Samuel Wesley. Don't think about the local people, local Wesleys. I'm saying about the revival family, a family who caused for revival. At the beginning of 18th century. Even his mother used to sing the songs of Isaac Watts. He wrote more songs amongst all Christian songwriters, male songwriters in the world. What are the famous songs he has ever written? Let us see them. One of Jesus, the lover of my soul, let me to thy bosom fly. Very important song, you know that. And also, for 1,000 tongues to sing, my great Redeemer's praise, my great Redeemer's praise. That one. In the same way, Martin Luther, his songs have been translated into many languages, but his Bible is only in the German language. Tyndale's Bible was translated into many languages, but his songs were translated into many languages. One of the famous songs, that he belongs to the time of 1483. One of the famous songs is A Mighty Fortress of Our God. Very good famous song. Let us come to the important point. Fanny Crosby, an American English songwriter in Christian field. Fanny Crosby, she wrote 8,000 hymns and also more than 100 million copies were printed. She lost her eyesight at the age of just 6 weeks age. Eye infection. She lost her sight to an eye infection and a medical ignorance at the age of 6 weeks. As a 6 weeks baby, she lost her eyesight. But God used that vessel a lot. Being a woman, almost born blind, wrote 8,000 songs and lived for 95 years of lifespan. I like very much one of her songs is, let us come to the song. Blessed Assurance, blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine. Heir of salvation, purchase of God, born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. Such kind of spiritual songs were written by her. 8,000 around. Finally, Thomas Chisholm wrote Great is Thy Faithfulness song. He was born in 1870 and died 1957. He lived around 87 years. His famous song, Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Such kind of songs written by him. His childhood was very humble beginning and God blessed him very much. Finally, a famous Telugu poet, Chaudhary Purushottama Kavi. Central and South India, still they have been singing his songs very much in each and every Christian church. They are called Andhra Christian songs. Andhra Christian songs. Very famous songs. He is the first native Christian English songs writer in India. He worked a lot for God and he has undergone through so many trials. He walked from Vizag, that means Visakhapatnam city, to Madras on foot for Lord. He faced many troubles in his Christian life. His famous songs are Vinarayo Narulara, Vinula Kimpu Mira, and Ni Charanamule Namiti Namiti, Ni Padamule Patiti, and then Trahimam Kristunada, Dayachuparave, and then Erigi Chedipotini Manasa, Ikani Dikkevaru, and Nannu Ganayarave Na Yesu, Nannu Ganayarave Na Prabhuva. Okay, this is the thing. Don't go to modern rock and pop songs and such kind of waste musics and deliriumic movements and hysteric. The modern music and the modern styles and modern rock dance and pop songs, etc., are developing hysteria in the mind and body of humanity. These are not spiritual songs. Don't go to such kind of methods and such kind of traditions, because recent a scientific survey, psychologists are saying that those are practicing rock music and pop music and rock dance and pop dance, etc., and modern beats and rhythms, etc., or there is a problem with them. A suicidal tendency is developing in their mind. That is the invention recently invented by modern psychologists. So God said already, don't do as in the methods of heathen people to your Lord God. It is said in the book of law. So don't put such methods in God's ministry, in God's song, in God's any atmosphere, in church atmosphere or personal Christian life, because our God is different. We have to believe God's power and you have to walk in His way and in His method. Shalom and God bless you. Follow our channel and support us according to your spiritual capacity, and subscribe, share with others, and pray for this ministry and for me and my family. God bless you. Thank you very much.